WWE is on the road to WrestleMania in full force. We had another boring and dragged out Raw with little wrestling and a ton of matches announced for WrestleMania. Is this enough? Welcome back, everybody. It's Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick here. Thanks for joining me, as always, on this Tuesday video. My Tuesday videos typically are going to be a little bit more WWE heavy, although I am going to be talking about AEW briefly in this video. It's also not going to be very long, as this video is mostly going to be about Monday Night Raw this past Monday and the stuff that we got announced for WrestleMania. We'll start with the big news first, which is John Cena has been announced as the host of WrestleMania. We all know why. I knew why before word even came out, and according to Fightful Select here from Sean Ross Sapp, he was brought in to increase ticket sales because they have been struggling still with WrestleMania ticket sales, just people even interested in general to pay those lofty ticket prices. You had a bus tour thing go on that is sold out, but even Cody Rhodes himself said that they were absolutely way overpriced. Not verbatim, but he did call them out, saying that they're too expensive. And you've got all kinds of other people that are saying that WWE is way too expensive for WrestleMania. I guarantee you they would be sold out by now, since it's only 3 weeks away, if they had reasonable ticket prices, but they don't. And their ticket prices are way too damn high for the low shitty-ass quality wrestling that you get at these big events, because these big events, every year since TKO has taken over, I swear these big events are less and less pro wrestling and more promos, just talk, celebrity guest involvement, and all these ads. That's about all it is. You look at ratings from Raw on Cage Match, 4.92, which is actually a higher rating for the typical Raw SmackDown, because they hover between 3 and 5 typically, so this is just about 5. Not a whole lot of votes, obviously, but a lot of them just don't care to vote, because a lot of people on Cage Match don't care to watch WWE anymore. A lot of people, a lot of E-stands, I should say, will say, oh, Cage Match is just an AEW website. No, it's been around, I think, since 2010, I want to say, 11, somewhere around there. Years before AEW was even a thing. It may have even been sooner. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it's been around for quite a while prior to AEW. And if you look back at, shows from Raw and SmackDown back in years when they were good, they were rated good because the product was good. It is not overall good anymore. Most of it is straight ass. And these ratings show you only had 4 matches, again, and all 4 matches totaled to be under 40 minutes of wrestling. Again, just really, really sloppily produced. And we'll get to the card for WrestleMania, updated matches announced in just a minute. But let's first talk about the first match, the title change. You have the Vision, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul. The Vision is just awful. It's a shell of what it once was. Just all kinds of injuries for them. They can't stay healthy. Paul Heyman is just jumping from one male group to another male group like a groupie, and it just needs to end. I think the Vision's a failed product. The injuries certainly didn't help it out, but even prior to those injuries, it was not interesting. It wasn't. And they defeated the Usos, who came out to awful new music, and it is getting roasted on socials. They got Def Rebelled, essentially. Just like Stephanie Vaquer, her music that she had in NXT and when she first showed up on Raw was really, really good. It was one of the few highlights of Raw for me, and that got taken away, and I was pissed, and a lot of people were, rightfully so. Same thing happened to the Usos. Sure, on one hand, at least we're not seeing Jey Uso yeet for 25 minutes an episode of Raw, but still, a huge downgrade in music. They got the titles stripped. Then we had a women's tag title match. Forgettable. Lyra Valkyria, I'm sorry. She is not very entertaining anymore. I've lost full interest on her. Penta defeated Kofi in a very, very predictable match. Why in the hell would Kofi last second become champ right before WrestleMania? Although, now that I say that, now that the word's come out of my mouth. In that moment, I was like, it would be a very WWE thing to do to have a guy who's over 40 take a title right before WrestleMania. Kind of like Sami Zayn took Carmelo Hayes right before WrestleMania. Now we're getting him and Trick, which is a huge, huge downgrade. I would have loved to have seen Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, and I most agree with that. Then the main event was Raquel Rodriguez defeating Io Sky in a very forgettable, quick 10-minute women's match. That was it. The rest of Raw was promos, 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 ads, ads, ads. And I can't believe people still pay for this shit to go to live. It is overpriced, and when you go to live shows, I want to see live wrestling. I don't want to be staring at a Titantron if I don't have like front row seats for promos, or just be looking down at the ring and watching someone talk on the mic for 2/3 of the show. But that is what you get week to week to week to week to week. For SmackDown, for Raw, it is so damn boring to me. You may disagree. Anybody who's watching this, maybe you disagree, but I could tell that most of you that watch my content agree with me on that. We had Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi get involved. I feel like this should have been the promo that closed out the show. If anything, if they're going to have this again, they should have had it close, because it's really the only WrestleMania match that I'm genuinely excited for, and will be absolutely fucking pissed if they make the wrong choice, which would be having Brock Lesnar win. It needs to be Oba Femi. If they put Brock Lesnar, okay, hear me out. If they put Brock Lesnar, Sami Zayn, and have anyone win the belt off Penta that isn't Javon Evans, I'll just go on record right now, I will be absolutely done with WWE, and this channel will 100% just become only AEW stuff, because it will be not worth my time to watch Raw and SmackDown anymore if they really do them dirty. Those 3 NXT call-ups that I have said countless times now are the only highlight to Raw right now. Oba needs to beat Brock Lesnar. That's a match announced. Trick Williams needs to take that belt off Sammy, although I'm worried because Sammy just won it. And if anyone's going to beat Penta, I would rather him just retain, even though he is 41. He should have had a belt forever ago. Javon Evans is the only one that I'd want to see take it off of him. Anybody else, and I would be absolutely pissed. And WrestleMania just, again, feels lazily produced, half-assed, thrown together last second. A lot of matches were announced in the last 10 days, and we're not even a month away from WrestleMania anymore. Do you remember back when WrestleMania had a lot of matches that were built up to WrestleMania for longer than a week or two of build? Because we had Gunther randomly return and attack Seth Rollins and point at the WrestleMania sign, and that is very last second because it is the last day of March. WrestleMania is not even 3 weeks away, I believe, and that means they are only going to have 2 episodes of Raw before WrestleMania to actually build this feud. Otherwise, it was half-assed, thrown together, like I said. CM Punk and Roman Reigns are doing their damnest to make me care, but I really don't, because both of these guys are old part-timers, essentially. Roman Reigns is wrestling less and less and less as the months go by. CM Punk is 47. This main event I really do not give 2 fucks about. The only main event that seems decent is Orton versus Cody. As long as Orton wins, I'm sorry, but I just don't really care for Cody Rhodes in the main event scene. Outside of that, the main events for Night 1 and Night 2 are very lackluster. I don't care about the Roman and Punk feud at all. We had a ladder match announced for WrestleMania. First time in literally 10 years was the last time they did a ladder match at WrestleMania. And again, Dragon Lee, Rusev, Penta, JD, and Javon Evans. Dragon Lee, I guess, should be fun. Penta better retain, or Javon Evans better win. Rusev is just in there to be that big body that they always throw. One big man in a ladder match, I feel like, for any promotion, really, not just a WWE thing. He's literally there because they have no fucking clue what to do with Rusev. He should have never returned. He should have just stayed as Miro in AEW, because at least he was being used until creative differences set him aside in AEW. Rusev just isn't as good as he thinks he is. He's not main event world champ material. He's not that great on the mic. He's just a big burly man in the ring that kind of moves slow now that he's old himself. So he better not win at all. And I don't really want to see JD win. I don't like the human bobblehead is what I like to call him. I don't care for him in the ring. I would like to see Dragon Lee. That'd be fine too. He's also young. So any of those three, I would be fine with this. This is actually shaping up to probably be my second favorite match because I just don't care about the main feuds at all. It's just this and Brock and Oba. Those are the only two matches that I care about for WrestleMania right now. We got Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. This one's probably third for me. I somewhat care about this because I do love Finn Balor. I do think Dominic Mysterio is one of the best things going on in WWE, so I hope that they give him the win. I think that would be the right choice there. It's interesting that they have nothing planned for Royce Keys. I want to bring his name back up, his awful WWE name, because why not put him in that ladder match instead of Rusev? You have nothing creative for Rusev, and you haven't in a while. You just signed Royce Keys back in January at Royal Rumble, and he has not done shit for 2 months, and now he's not on the Mania card. There's this funny meme right up here. There it is, WWE writers giving everything to Oba. Gunther was forgotten about for a month. I guess I read a rumor he was supposed to wrestle Rey Mysterio and maybe retire him, but Rey is hurt. And then you got Royce Keys just deep down in the waters, forgotten about. No one gives a fuck about him anymore. At this point, they're going to have to reintroduce him and re-debut him because I'm sure a lot of people have forgotten about him. And there's the rest of the card. There's a women's match, 4-way women's title match that was whatever. But there's your main events. Cody and Orton. I want Orton to win. Roman and CM Punk. I literally couldn't care less. I don't care who in the fuck wins this at all. I really don't. I'm not even going to say an answer. Please give me Oba over Brock. I didn't touch on this, but I'll touch on that quick. Drew McIntyre. Just fucking... Why did they do this to him? He should have been in the main event against Randy Orton, or at least triple threat. And maybe Cody could have turned heel there to help Drew McIntyre against Randy Orton. I don't know. I guess McIntyre to win that one. Please give me Trick Williams to beat Sami Zayn. I really don't like Sammy Hogan that much at all anymore. Never really cared about him, to be honest. Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. Give me a Rhea. I think Jade Cargill is still extremely green and very stiff in the ring. AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. Also don't care about this. Two part-timers that are too old now. I think AJ Lee coming back has been a failed. She really hasn't done anything. Becky Lynch, I think, is basically 1 foot out the door, and she even said that her next contract will be her last, so this really makes me not care about this match at all, but I guess I'll pick Becky. And then the only women's match that I truly care about is Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan, because I actually do like both, and I really, really like Stephanie Vaquer, so I would like to see her win. So those are my WrestleMania picks up to date. Now going on to AEW to end this video. None of those matches, at least to me, none of those matches look as good as the 3 that we have announced so far for Dynasty, and I know tomorrow on Dynamite, we'll probably get a couple more announced, and then we'll probably get the remainder of the card announced on Collision ahead of Sunday, April 12th. But look at this. MJF and Kenny Omega, those two have been back and forth for a couple of years. So this build, that story there, that feud there, has been there for a while. Moxley and Will Ospreay have been going at it for over a month already since Will Ospreay returned in a video before he returned in ring a few weeks ago. FTR and Cage and Cope, everybody's been waiting for this for like a year, I feel like. So, in that storyline right there, they're picking up where they left off months ago after Adam Copeland filmed the show that he was in. Those 3 matches are, to me anyway, looking way better than anything on WrestleMania's card, because I don't care. There isn't anything on the WrestleMania card that I think is going to be better than MJF versus Kenny Omega. There isn't anything on the WrestleMania card that I care more about seeing Will Ospreay in a pay-per-view match again against Moxley, of all people, a great worker for AEW. And there's not a single tag match in WWE at WrestleMania that I think is going to be better than FTR versus Cage and Cope. You know the crowd is going to be electric for that. FTR is a better tag team than any tag team that WWE currently has. And Cage and Cope are Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers, one of the GOATs of tag team wrestling. I still firmly believe, now that we have basically the entire WrestleMania card announced, I still firmly believe that AEW Dynasty is going to be a lot better than WrestleMania 42. That's all I had in this episode of Screw to Script. Let me know down below if you're excited at all for WrestleMania, and if you are, what is the match or matches, I only have 2, that you're excited for. Do you believe that my claim, Dynasty looking better in WrestleMania, is true? What are your thoughts on the Sean Ross Sapp and JD from New York stuff? Let me know down below as well on that. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.